Yo, RX back with another breakdown of UFC 309. Garbage versus garbage. Jones versus Miocic, same thing. We back with another breakdown of a card that is garbage. I'm gonna be just honest with you guys, like I always am. I think this card's fucking terrible. I'm not looking forward to it. I have really no care about most of the fights on it. I think this card sucks. I think last week's card was better on paper and definitely in execution. This card's terrible. I can't really put it in much simpler terms. Like, I'm not really sure what you want me to say. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, if you want to hear people go hype up the card, fine. I'm not gonna lie to you. This card's terrible. Main event, ass. Co-main, pointless. Rest of main card, garbage. Prelims, a few good fights. Overall, it's just bad. Like, it's not, I'm not excited. I could care less about this card. There's maybe 2 or 3 fights I'm actually excited for, and none of them are on the main card. So, trash, a disgrace to MSG, and hopefully I'm wrong. I would love nothing more to be wrong, because of course I never want a card to suck, because I watch it to be entertained. But will this card be entertaining? I doubt it. Will this card be good? I doubt it. So, say whatever you want. I'm honest. This card sucks. So, I'm not sure what else you want me to say. Yeah, this is not a good card. Outside of that, again, there are a few bright spots, a few really good prelim fights. That's about it. So, will this be a long breakdown? To be honest, I don't know. I don't got a lot to say about many fights, because either they're easy to predict or a waste of time, so we'll see, man. We'll see. This could be one of my shorter breakdowns, so don't be shocked. Maybe that'll be good for the views. I don't know. Besides that, can't really think of much more to say. I'm just gonna call the card terrible some more, so let's just stop doing that and let's get into the card already. So, before I do, please like, comment, subscribe. 100 subs goal by the end of 2024. We hit 70 again. We were at 71 before, then we lost 2, so we're back at 70. Thank you very much. 30 more to 100. Can we do that? I doubt it, but either way, I'm happy to thank all 70 of you, and hope you enjoy this. So let's stop rambling and get into some fights. Are you ready? Ugh. You ready? I know I am. UFC 309 breakdown. Let's break down some fights. 13 fights in total in the Garden, and we will begin our night on the early prelims in the women's flyweight division. Yeah, that flyweight. I don't know why it's all the way down there. You could just put it up here. And then our first fight of the night, a decent one. One of the only fights I think are actually not. One of the only fights I don't think is trash on the card, funny enough. And then our first fight of the night in the women's flyweight division. There we go, I did get it right this time. We begin the night with Veronica Hardy versus Eduarda Ronda Moura. Very good fight. I'm a fan of both of these two. I'm not a fan of this matchmaking because I think it's really ass backwards, if you ask me, but maybe the UFC sees something in this fight I don't. I don't agree with this matchmaking. I think I like both of these fighters, but they definitely should be fighting different opponents. One should be fighting a higher caliber opponent, the other should be fighting a lower caliber opponent. I think you can tell which is which. So, that's what I think. Maybe I'm wrong. We'll see. Enough rambling. Let's get into our first fighter of the night. Someone who I swear opens every card they are on. Veronica Hardy. Dan, how did you do it? Veronica in UFC is 4-4. Her 4 wins are Polyana Viana, Juliana Miller, Jamie Horth, and JJ Aldridge. Her 4 losses are Ashley Evans Smith, Andrea Lee, Jillian Robertson, and Bia Malecki. She has really had a career resurgence, almost the definition of it, to be honest. She started her UFC career from 2016 to 2020, only had 5 fights, going 1-4. Polyana Viana is a kind of funny win when you looking back on it, especially when she lost to shittier fighters in Bia and Ashley. But I guess that just shows my point that Polyana Viana is garbage. And then, like, losses to Jillian Robertson, understandable. Andrea Lee, in 2018, that was understandable. But yeah, her first UFC, her first half of her career, not good. Then you look at, since she came back in 2023 on 3 fights winning streak, and she's looked great. Has been against lower level competition. Yes, Joanna Miller, trash. Jamie Horth, average at best. JJ Aldridge, very good veteran. She really likes beating fighters whose name starts with a J. Weird. She looked good. Like, her worst performance in those 3 fights was probably the horse fight, because that was, I guess, the closest one. She dominated Juliana Miller, but that's not really impressive. She, if I remember correctly, beat JJ Aldridge pretty soundly. Jamie gave her a tough fight, but a little, not, maybe tough is the wrong term, but gave her a decent fight. But she did win that fight, and I picked her as an underdog in that fight. I thought she was the better fighter, and she was. Since coming back, she's looked really good. Dan Hardy's a fucking MMA genius, so there's no shocker that she's had a good coach and she's gotten better. And she's really well-rounded. Her striking is good. She actually has pretty decent power, it seems. Because if I remember, she's like cracked a few of her opponents. Her ground game is not terrible. Her one finish is a submission, and if I remember, she stuffed some takedowns from Aldridge and Juliana. So she's pretty well-rounded. She's not old. That's another thing. You would think she's old. She's only like 29. Yeah, so she's very young. She entered the UFC very young, and now she's really hitting her stride. We're hitting her fucking prime, so a win here, she should be in a top 15, which, think about saying that after the Bia Malecki fight. That a 1-4 fighter could be in the top 15 at one point, but fuck, a win here, which I think she already should be getting a top 15 fight, but I guess they want to give her one more fight. So, but I'm happy for Veronica. It's hard not to be happy. She seems cool. I've never had a problem with Dan Hardy. She's a good fighter. She's not that boring. Other things help. Do I need to lie to you? Come on. She seems to be breaking the Paige Van Zandt curse of, if you're good looking, you suck. Because clearly she doesn't. So now I guess there's one apple that falls far from the tree from time to time. So yeah, but not really much else to say. Really turned her career around, and a win here, 4 in a row. That'd be big for her, man. So let's see what she can do in the Garden, opening up tonight. Can she get to 4-0? And since coming back, we'll see. To talk about her opponent, Eduarda Moura, moving up to flyweight for the first time, which she should already been there to begin with. Eduarda in the UFC is 1-1, coming off the Contender Series, where she looked really good. In her first 2 UFC fights, she beat Montserrat Sanjejo Ruiz, and she lost to Denise Gomes. The Ruiz fight is Montserrat Ruiz. Like, you have to be pretty terrible to look shit against her, Cheyenne Velizmaz. And then for Denise Gomes, she just got outclassed. She had shitty cardio in that fight, and fighting in a weight class she shouldn't be in against a better fighter. It happens. I'm happy she made the move up to flyweight finally, because as you can see, it wasn't working at strawweight. She's too big. She's really fucking big for strawweight. She is, let's see, where's her height? 5'6". Like, she's taller than Veronica, and she was down a weight class. So, why she even attempted to make flyweight, strawweight, I don't know. But to see her at flyweight, and we've seen her media day pictures now, she looks good. She looks more in shape. She looks happier. She looks more ready. Like I think this is a strawweight pick. She just looks super slim. and that's why her cardio was so bad. Now up a weight class, she has talent. Her problem was the weight class. She's a decent striker. She's great ground game. Like, she's very talented, but at strawweight, she just killed herself to make the weight. So, and at Diniz Gomes fight, she just kind of she already lost the fight in a way before she even got to the fight. So, take that for what you will. And again, Montserrat Ruiz just sucks. So, and the height difference was like fucking, like 6-7 inches. So, I'm excited to see Moura up at flyweight, even if I don't think this fight's a good one for her. Showing you begin her a more ideal matchup after coming off her first career loss, and so giving her someone who's a borderline ranked fighter. That's I think a JJ Aldridge or a decent veteran who's not on a 3-fight winning streak would have made a little more sense here, but maybe that's just me. So I like Moura. I think she's a good fighter, but I don't like just matchmaking at all. So excited to see her at flyweight though. This could be her chance, like opening up her talent fully. So let's see if she can. The Bang Answers fight have Veronica Hardy -160 to +125. It's hard to disagree with that. You could have her -180 at the most. I was gonna say 190, but I think that's too much. -180. She's better. I think she's more experienced. She's more experienced. Has one less win. That's fucked me up. She's riding momentum right now, which Moura is not. She's fought at flyweight more times than Moura. This is Moura's debut there, and I just feel like she's a little better of a fighter. Like, again, Moura's good, and that height could be a problem for Veronica. But outside of that, striking, it's gonna be competitive on the ground. Veronica should be able to shake off her takedowns and her submission attempts. It's hard not to go Hardy here. I just think she's a little bit better. She's on more of a roll. And again, I just really don't like this matchup for Eduarda. So, we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. And if I am, fine. I like Eduarda as much as I like Veronica. I'm a fan of both. But I just really don't understand this matchmaking. And I just feel like this is very bad for Eduarda. So, give me Veronica Hardy by decision. I think she's a better fighter. She should be able to be the better fighter in this fight. Like, more experience, better cardio. That middle, halfway through the second, third round will really, I think will be Veronica's best round. Round 1's going to be interesting. Round 2 and 3, I think that's going to be all Veronica. So, let's see if I'm right. Give me Veronica Hardy by decision in I think a decent fight to be in tonight. Again, one of the only decent fights on the card. So, yeah. Veronica Hardy by decision to be in tonight. Not the first time I've said that. Maybe won't be the last. Veronica Hardy by decision. After that, we head up to welterweight for our second fight of the night. A fight that is okay. We're not in the bad territory yet of fights, but this one is definitely not jumping off the page. As in our second fight of the night in the welterweight division, we have Oban, the Welsh gangster Elliott, versus Bassil, the Habibi Hafez. Again, not a terrible fight, but nothing amazing for our second fight of the night. But for an early prelim, it's okay. And welterweight usually gives us good fights, so take what you can get. Decent prospect battle here. Let's see who takes it. We'll begin with Oban Elliott. Excuse me. Oban 2-0 in the UFC, coming out Contender Series. His 2 wins in the UFC so far have been Val Woodburn and Preston Parsons, a fight I called him as an underdog in. You're welcome. Oban's decent. He's definitely he has flaws in his game. He's very hittable. He's got hurt in the Val Woodburn fight. I don't remember if he got hurt in the Preston Parsons fight. I feel like that was more of a domination if I remember correctly. But he's definitely very green still. His striking his ground game's where it's at. His striking is not the strongest. Again, his defense ain't good. His chin holds up, but for how long, especially since he's not fighting power punchers. he lost to Michel Figlak, who's in the UFC, and he's trash. So I like Oban. I think he's good, but he definitely has some flaws in his game. 26 years old, so he's still very young, 11-2. So at least he's not coming in undefeated. So he knows he can lose. And the UFC is giving him favorable matchups to build him. Like, just 2 fights in, Val Woodburn and Preston Parsons, 2 very... let's be honest, Val Woodburn's a joke, and Preston Parsons, the most average fighter you can imagine. So, they're giving him favorable matchups. And now Bassil Hafez, a dude who is, again, very average, never gonna do much in the UFC, but he's not a complete joke. It's just logical matchmaking for a dude who's very green, especially since they would love to tap into that Welsh market, and they don't have many fighters. Jack Shore's ass, Corey McKenna just got cut. That might be the only other 2 I can think of, so... it makes sense. It makes sense. I'm shocked they haven't put him on card in fucking... Oh no, they just put him... I forgot that Leon card was in England, so... Yeah, they definitely want to build up another English dude, so let's see if they can with Oban. He has the skills. He just needs to improve on some of them, and just... It's mainly just on the feet. His ground game's really fucking good. It's just his ground game, or it's just his striking's ass. So, if he can fix up his defense and get some better striking, then he's gonna be pretty good. So, and he's already pretty solid as is, so... Let's fix up a few minor problems and dude should be set. So I like Oban, liked him since Contender Series. Just gotta fix up a few not even like big problems they haven't cost him yet, but just a few minor things so that are easily fixable. So yeah. To talk about his opponent, Bassil Hafez. Bassil in UFC is 1-1, really should be 2-0. In his UFC debut, he got robbed versus Jack Della Maddalena, which that has aged better than any fucking fight I've seen from last year. And then in his last fight, he beat Mickey Gall. Bassil is weird. He's kind of Drakus-like, to where he never looks good, but he somehow wins. Like, he didn't look good against JDM, but he definitely did more and should have got that win. He did not look good against Mickey Gall, but he did enough to win. So it's very Drakus-like, to where it's not going to be pretty. It's never going to be flashy. It's never going to be fancy. But he's going to do enough to where he can win. And I know he fought Jeremiah Wells. That's a very interesting matchup. He's very crazy in the way he fights. He throws big power shots. He has a ground game. His chin has held up pretty good. JDM hit him with a lot of bombs and he took them. His cardio kind of sucks. Like, even the Mickey Gall fight, he gassed pretty quickly, but that was in Utah, I believe, Salt Lake City. This is his first fight, not on short notice or in high altitude, so I guess we can take that we can take that and take that as you will. There you go. I think he's okay. I think he's on the same level of Preston Parsons, where he's like, yeah, he's a fighter. He's average. He can beat bad fighters like Mickey Gall, but he's never going to beat a natural good fighter, even though, again, he did beat JDM somehow. How, I don't know. But he's just not really a world beater. He's 32 years old. He's 9-4-1. He's okay. He's going to be a good test for Oban, but is he the type to fraud check a fighter? No. He's not going to fraud check Oban Elliott. I don't see it. I think Oban, on the feet, he could get beat. But if Oban gets to the ground wear on Bassil, he should win. So, like, Bassil's decent, but I just don't see him. He's not a fraud check. He's not a type of guy to fraud check someone. He's not that good. He's good enough to win a fight, but he shouldn't be good enough to fraud check someone. So, if that makes sense, I think it does. He's okay, but I just, yeah. The Bang Afterwards fight have Oban Elliott minus 155 plus 125. They might have moved, the odds might have got bigger since Topology last updated them, I'm not sure. But I would have Oban at most minus 170, and even I would think that's too high. Minus 165. Yeah, I think minus 165. What were those picks? Yeah. I'm on Oban Elliott by decision. I think he's the better fighter. He's the younger fighter. He's looked better. Like, how did he, like, his Preston Parsons performance was a lot better than Bassil's Mickey Gall performance. So it's a weird fight, and both guys have giant problems in their game. It's just who's going to be better at exploiting the others. And I think Oban has better cardio. Again, his striking ain't great, his chin has held up, but for how long? But if he can just wear on Bassil and grind out a decision, I think he'll be able to do that. So give me Oban Elliott by decision. Just grind out a decision. Don't really make it too crazy. Don't go trade for trade with fucking Bassil. And yeah, give me Oban by decision. I just think he's the younger, better fighter. But Bassil's a good test. I'll say that much. So yeah, Oban Elliott by decision for our second fight of the night. Here we go. Our third fight of the night in the welterweight division. I'm not gonna waste time here. Mickey Gall, Ramiz Brahimaj by decision. I don't give a fuck. It's a Mickey Gall fight in 2024. I don't care. Next. After that, we get to our featured prelim of a fight that was booked a week ago, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, 2 weeks ago in Canada. Well, got booked during the Canada card, Edmonton. So not a lot of time prepared for this one if you're one of these guys. And one dude's had a lot of time to prepare, so we'll see how that goes. And then our featured early prelim in the heavyweight division, our only good fight in the heavyweight division on this card. We have Marcin Tybura versus Jhonata Diniz. Second Diniz fight I've broken down in as many weeks, and let's see if he can actually get to this one. Let's hope his opponent doesn't fucking get stuck on the toilet or whatever the fuck happened to Derek Lewis last in Edmonton. So yeah, good fight. Gonna go one of two ways. Probably won't go 15 minutes. See what happens. This was booked during the Edmonton card, and Diniz has been ready. Tybura has got 2 weeks notice, so see what happens. We'll begin with the higher ranked dude. Well, the only ranked dude in this fight, the veteran, the 39-year-old Marcin Tybura. Marcin in the UFC is 12-8. Not gonna go down his whole UFC career. It's been a lot of wins and losses. Never really been that great of a fighter. In his last 5 fights, he is 3-2, but those 3 wins are against Romanov, trash, Blagoy, trash, and Tai Tuivasa, trash. And his 2 losses were Tom Aspinall, great, and Sergey Spivak, who is middle of the road. I've never really been impressed with Tybura. His striking's okay, his cardio sucks, his ground game is fine. He's never been impressive to me, and he's getting older. Like, I'm trying to think, have I ever really been impressed with him? Like, that 5-fight winning streak he was on was okay, and I picked him to beat Volkov. That was a terrible pick. But outside of that, like, I've never really been impressed with him. Like, and in this fight, he's gonna have to be a wrestler, because if he tries to strike with Diniz, he's gonna knock the fuck out. So if Derek Lewis was gonna have problems with Diniz on the feet, you're gonna have worse. So it's actually funny Diniz got an easier fight after Derek pulled out. So at least Derek could knock you out with 1 punch. What the fuck can Tybura do? Cuddle you? Sniff your fucking armpit? I don't know. Never really been impressed with Tybura. Coming off a bad loss to Spivak, getting armbarred in under 2 minutes. A fight that he should have won. Like, I thought he was gonna be better than Spivak in that rematch, but clearly he did not train armbar defense, so good job. 39 years old. At heavyweight, that really doesn't matter, but still, just never been impressed with Marcin. Excuse me, I guess that's very fitting for heavyweights, those fat fucks. To talk about his opponent, Jhonata Diniz. Not gonna say much since I just talked about him 2 weeks ago in a breakdown. So I'm gonna keep pretty short and sweet. He's 2-0 in the UFC, coming off Contender Series. In his 2 wins, he's beat Austin Lane and Carl Williams. Austin Lane was not a great performance, but he did get the knockout. He did get cuddled for the first round, though. And then Carl Williams, he was able to keep it standing. Even though I think Carl Williams barely shot a takedown, so Yeah, he's a decent prospect. One of the only few. I think him, McParkin, and maybe one other dude I'm forgetting are actually decent prospects. I still think McParkin should be in the spot he is right now, because I think Parkin's the best heavyweight prospect, but at least he got a ranking. He got put into rankings the other day after they kicked out Romanov and Nascimento, so W. But Diniz might be joining him this week, so... It's very simple. Diniz is just a striker. He has no takedown defense. He has no ground game. He has... We haven't really seen... Well, we did see his cardio, and it looked middle of the road. He's 8-0, 33 years old. Could he get fraud checked this week? Yes. Does it suck if he does? Because they need as many fucking prospects as they can get at heavyweight? Yes. So... But again, he did get an easier fight. Again, Derek Lewis can kill you with one punch. Tybura can cuddle you. So, we'll see what happens. Diniz, again, hopefully you can actually get to this fight. Not you, but your opponent, if you get my drift. So, hey, went from fighting in Edmonton to MSG. Might be maybe a tiny upgrade. So, let's see if it pays off. The bang answers fight are not on Typology, but I think Tybura is like minus 190, 200 or some bullshit. I'd have it to pick him. What was Diniz against Lewis? I think he was like a minus 140. Like, he was a decently sized favorite. Yeah, this should be a pick'em. The fight goes one of two ways. Either Diniz knocks him out, or Tybura cuddles him. Like, there's no simpler way to put it. I know that's making a fight a lot simpler than it is, but that's just a fact. Either Diniz is gonna get cuddled, or he's gonna knock Tybura out cold. Pretty simple. Which one am I going for? Give me Jhonata. He's prepared. He's been prepared. He's had more time to prepare, and now for takedowns, Tybura's not really had a lot of time to prepare. 2 weeks for Jhonata Diniz. He better be in his Khabib bag. So, give me Jhonata Diniz by knockout in the first. Yeah, either he's gonna get a knockout early, or fucking Tybura is going to probably TKO him in the third. So. Give me Jhonata by knockout in the first. We can only hope he doesn't get cuddled, because that'd be boring as shit. So, yeah. Jhonata by knockout in the first. He's just gotta keep it standing. If you can do that, you'll win pretty easily. So, yeah. Jhonata, make it to this fight and get a knockout. About all I gotta say there. So, those are the early prelims. 3 decent fights and 1 joke fight that shouldn't even be happening. I'll take it. Start off with a decent fight, got a pretty okay fight, and then a good fight to end it. I can't complain. Now we can head into our prelims, which are, again, I'd say close to the same 3 good, 1 bad format. So, and it's kind of in the same order: good, good, bad, good. I'll take it. So let's begin with our first actual prelim of the night, and the is that featherweight? Yeah, it's not a catchweight fight. As in our first prelim of the first real prelim of the night, in the featherweight division, we have the fight that was booked yesterday, or 2 days ago, I believe, as we have Roberto El Charo Romero versus David Silent Assassin Onama. Who the fuck is Roberto Romero? I don't know. This fight got booked again 2 days ago, if not yesterday. It was meant to be Lucas Alexander. He pulled out, and here comes Roberto. Respect for stepping in. You're getting fucking annihilated. So, yeah. Not very much to say there. Not gonna say much here. Let's just get into it. Roberto, 8-3-1, making the UFC debut. He looks to be a mid-fighter. He's 1-1 his last 2 fights. He lost to a 5-2 dude, but he beat a 26-14 guy. Never heard of this dude in my life. He's fought no one that anyone has ever heard of. Not even fighting in a promotion anyone's ever fucking heard of. Yeah, this dude's gonna get fucking murdered. Poor kid. 24 years old. Good luck, but yeah, you're fucked. Talk about David Onama. David in the UFC is 4-2. His wins are Gabriel Benitez, Garrett Armfield, Gabriel Santos, and JSP. His 2 losses are Mason Jones and Nate Landwehr. Onama, a guy who knows a lot about short notice fights, he lost to Mason Jones on short notice in his debut. He beat Garrett Armfield on short notice when Garrett was making his debut up a weight class. He might have another short notice fight in there somewhere, but overall, he knows a thing or two about this. Onama's a very wishy-washy fighter. One fight he looks great, the next fight he doesn't. Like he'll look like he looked great against Mason Jones and Nate Landwehr, but then he'll look weird against Garrett Armfield and JSP. So I don't know. But if Onama shows up even halfway to his full potential, he should get the easiest win of his career here. So yeah, not very much to say. David, the UFC's handing you a knockout highlight. Take it. The Bangouts first fight are not on Tapology, but I remember looking earlier, and David Onama's like minus 1,000, which I agree. He could be even higher than that. He's a lock potential. There's only 3 lock options on this card, and he's one of them. He's not my lock. My lock is later on the card, but he's definitely a guy who you could easily call the lock of the night if you want to. So, but yeah, David Onama knockout in the first. Pretty easy to predict. Unless Roberto Romero is the greatest fighter we've ever fucking seen, which I doubt, David should run through him like he's nothing. So, respect for stepping in, dude, but you have no chance. David Onama by knockout in the first. Pretty simple. After that, we get to our second fight of the prelims, moving up 10 pounds from featherweight to lightweight, when we have a former featherweight, funny enough. And then our second fight of the prelims, we have some veterans, our first of many veterans on this card. Well, actually, we already had a few with fucking Tybura, but these are some old-ass men. And then our second prelim of the night, in the lightweight division, we have Jim A10 Miller versus Damon the Leech Jackson. Some names we've seen 100 times, and we'll probably see 100 more times. Don't really gotta say much to talk about these fighters, but I'll still say a little, so let's get into it. We begin with the first ballot Hall of Famer, the legend himself, Jim Miller. Jim is 26-17-1 in the UFC. I don't need to go down his UFC career, because we'd be here till fucking UFC 400. I'll just go over his last few fights. I'll go his last 3 fights. He was on a nice 2-fight winning streak, beating Jesse Butler and Gabriel Benitez. He looked good in both those fights. Yes, they're pretty much cans, but still. And then in that Bobby Green fight, he got beat up bad. He broke his hand, he fucked up his leg, he had his eye swollen shut, he got fucking cut open a bunch. He just got the shit beat out of him. The UFC should have gave him an easier fight for 300, but shit happens, I guess. He still got it. Like, at 41 years old, you would think he's terrible, but he can still win. In his since 2020, he is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 5. And those losses are to Holtzman. Yeah, that's a bad L. For show, at that time that was not bad. Selecki, that's not great. Hernandez, that was a close fight. And Bobby Green, who's Bobby fucking Green. So, and his wins, yeah, they're pretty bad. But he can still beat bad fighters. Like, his best win in the 2020s has been Cowboy. So, which Cowboy in 2022 is not great, but compared to who he has beat, it's not not much competition. So, he can still beat these pretty bad fighters, even though he didn't beat Alexander Hernandez, who was terrible, but, you know, logic. And he didn't do terrible against Bobby Green early. He cracked him a few times, so... But shit happens. Bobby's just a better striker. And Jim wanted to strike with him, which was fucking stupid, so... But, whatever, that's why I love Jim Miller. This time getting a fight against Damon Jackson, a more favorable matchup. Another old dude. Jim can still fight. He's getting, his striking is decent. His ground game, one of the greatest grapplers of all time. 20 submissions, 12 of them in the UFC. Again, one of the greatest grapplers of all time. His cardio is kind of weak. His chin's never been. His chin is shaky at times, but he's really good. He's still very fucking solid. And let's see how he does in this fight. Let's see how he bounces back after that Bobby Green beating. That's the most interesting part. So, yeah. Not very much I would say about Jim Miller that hasn't been said 100 times. Dude's a fucking legend. He's fought everyone, and he can still go. So, yeah, about all I can really say. To talk about his opponent, Damon Jackson, another veteran, even though he's not a legend, let alone in UFC, but he's had a lot of fights, been fighting in UFC for 10 years now. He is 6'5", 1-1 in the UFC. His 6 wins are Marcin Bektik, Charles Rosa, Kamala Kirk, Darren Argueta, Pat Sabatini, and Alexander Hernandez, funny enough. His 4 losses are, or 5 losses, no, is it Oh, I forgot he had a fight in the UFC years back. Yeah, he lost to Yancy Medeiros. My bad. So, Yancy Medeiros, Elliott Tapoya. No, I'm shocked he lost that fight. Dan Ige, Billy Q, and Shepe Marshall. Man, he only loses to good fighters. Ilya, Ige, Billy, Shepe. Damn, this dude gets some hard-ass fights. And then, I don't remember his fucking... He had a draw. Oh, yeah, draw and a no contest in back-to-back fights. Bad luck. Damon is never really been the greatest fighter. His grappling's decent, but his striking is very... Yeah, he had a nice knockout against Pat Sabatini, but outside of that, like, he has a terrible chin. His defense has never been strong. His durability's shot. His cardio is not the best. But he's also 38 years old. 36 years old, so he is moving up to lightweight. Did he fight Yancy at lightweight? Or that featherweight? So this is his first lightweight fight since Yancy Medeiros fucking 10 years ago. So, like, he can still fight, as you've seen. He did go on a really nice winning streak at one point, but since he has really started coming back down to earth. But Ige, Billy Q, and Shepe are gonna do that, so can't really get mad at those losses. Again, Damon's best asset is grappling, but against Jim Miller, that's not really an asset you want to use, more than likely, so I like to move it for Damon. I don't hate the matchup overall, but this is just not a favorable matchup for Damon, in my opinion, so we'll see, but I just really don't know where he's better than Jim at, so we'll see what happens. Interesting to see him move up, but let's see what he can do. Good luck, man. The betting odds for this fight are very weird, in my opinion. Damon Jackson minus 130. I think he's up to like minus 170 now. To Jim Miller plus 110. I don't really see what these betting odds are seeing. I think Jim Miller should be the favorite here. I would have Jim minus 140, 145. Like, honest question, and you can tell me if I'm wrong. Where is Damon better? Outside of height and age, where is he better? Like, striking, Jim Miller. Chin, Jim Miller. Ground game, Jim Miller. Cardio. Okay, maybe Damon has better cardio, but not by much. So, like, I would not be shocked if Jim knocks him out. Jim has bombs in his hands, but also he's really good on the ground, so I just really don't get these betting odds. If you think Jim's just going to be completely done after that Bobby Green fight, I could see that point. But I doubt it. Jim has taken beatings like that before. It's nothing new to him. Excuse me. No, I really just don't get these betting odds. I think Jim's a better fighter in 2024 than Damon Jackson. Maybe I'm wrong. We're going to see. But I don't get him being the underdog here. I think he's the best underdog on the card. I don't get it. I don't see why he's the underdog. He's a better fighter. Again, Damon is better, and he has better height and age. That's it. So, maybe I'm wrong. You tell me, but I'm going Jim Miller by probably decision. Again, I could see him knocking Damon out. I wouldn't be too shocked. Damon's chin has went in the past many times, but I will say the only thing the Bobby Green fight's playing into is I do think Jim's going to be a little more cautious in this fight. He did just take a lot of damage, so he probably just wants to get a win. So I'm going to go Jim Miller by decision, but don't be shocked if he gets a finish. Again, Damon has been finished a lot, but Billy and Shepe didn't finish. I mean, though Shepe should have, but that's a different story. Give me Jim Miller by decision. I don't get these betting odds. Best underdog on the card. Bet him at your own will. Jim Miller by decision. After that, we go to our co-main of the prelims. Our worst fight of the actual prelims. The next four I'm talking about. Is it better than the McGhee Gall fight? Good question. As in our co-main of the prelims, we go up to middleweight for more old dudes, and these two are not even good though. As in our sixth fight of the night, seventh fight of the night, third of the prelims, we have Chris, the All-American eye poker, Weidman versus Eryk, ya boy, Anders. Do you really care about this fight? Because I don't. It's two old dudes, 40 and 37 years old. They're both old. They both shouldn't be in the UFC. I don't give a fuck. Chris Weidman, he's old. He's washed. He should be retired. He didn't beat Bruno Silva. He won by fucking eye poke. And, yeah, fuck him. Eryk Anders, how the fuck is he still here? How the fuck is he coming off a win? Yeah, he's fucking terrible. So... I'm not sure what you want me to say. He's fucking terrible. He's never really been that good to begin with, let alone in 2024 when he's 37 years old, barely beating Jamie Pickett and Kyle Dawkins. So, yeah. I'm going to Eryk Anders. Fuck Chris Weidman. Don't get eye poked and stuff takedowns. Pretty simple. Fucking kick him in the leg many times. It's what he fucking deserves. Eryk Anders by decision. Don't care. Shitty fight. Next. Now for the complete opposite of that fight, the best fight on the card as our featured prelim to end the prelims. We have a fucking banger in the bantamweight division, my most hyped fight of the card. Again, a banger between two great bantamweights. Again, the best fight of the card. As we end the prelims with a W, which is fucking shocking with this card. The fight that somehow ain't on the main card, but fucking Karine Silva is. Then our... No offense, Karine Silva, come on, what the fuck is going to But Bo Nickal is. As in our featured prelim in the bantamweight division, we end the prelims with Jonathan Dragon Martinez versus Marcus the Maniac McGhee. What a fight. Just a banger. Best fights in card. Again, I'll say that with full confidence. If you don't agree, I don't care. This is the best fight on the card. Martinez, great. McGhee's great. They're both fun fighters. I can't wait for this fight. Let's get into it. We will begin with Jonathan Martinez, a guy I'm a fan of both. So, but I'll say a guy I'm a fan of in Martinez. Jonathan in the UFC is 10-4. His 10 wins are... Fuck you if you think I'm trying that name. God, I'm not looking forward to next week's card. I'm gonna mispronounce a fuck ton of names. Ping Yuan Liu, who? Frankie Sands, Tom Salmeda, Zavid Lazavili, Alejandro Perez, Vince Morales, Cub Swanson, Said Nurmagomedov, and Adrian Yanez. His four losses are four losses. My brain is fucking shot at this point. I'm yelling too much. His four losses are Andre Soccer Mom, Andre Ewell, Davey Grant, and Jose Aldo. Martinez is really fucking good. Yes, he looked awful against Jose Aldo, but that's Jose Aldo. He's still great. He was on a really nice, 6-fight winning streak. Was the strongest names on it? Not really. He ended 3 nice wins in a row with Cub, Said, and Yanez, but the first 3 were not great. Getting knocked out by Davey Grant a few years ago is not amazing, but I guess could be worse. So, He really came into his own on that winning streak. Again, 6 in a row is very impressive. And then go fight Jose Aldo. Thanks, UFC. He's good. He has really great leg kicks. He's a good striker. His ground game, I can't even really remember saying, like, in the fight, he stopped takedowns pretty well, if I remember, so he has a decent ground game. He's really good. I still think Martinez is good. Yes, again, he got fucking annihilated by Jose Aldo, but that was Jose Aldo in Brazil. He was clearly just flustered. He was not ready for that fight, and he just was not ready. So now he's coming back down to earth, fighting an MSG to end the prelims against Marcus McGhee. We'll see what happens. It's a tough fight. It's a really tough fight. No one's been able to really do anything against McGhee, let alone beat him yet, so let's see if Martinez is the guy to beat him. Leg kicks are going to be a problem, but outside of that, let's see what he can do against a very, very good Marcus McGhee. Speaking of that really good Marcus McGhee, let's talk about Marcus McGhee. I'll stop saying that. McGhee in UFC at 3-0. His 3 wins are Journey Newsome, JP Buys, and Gaston Bolanos. I know the fucking elephant in the room is he will beat 3 low-level fighters, and now he's getting Johnson Martinez. We've seen this before with a lot of prospects lately, so I get it. But he's looked amazing. He ran through Journey Newsome, he ran over JP Buys, and he beat Gaston Bolanos, who's really fucking good. We saw that last week. This time for McGhee to show up or show out. If he's legit, he's gonna win this fight. If he's not legit, he's gonna get fraud checked here. I like McGhee, come from the MMA lab that only produces fucking talent. I think he's the main training partner of Sean O'Malley. Let's see what he does against a top 15 dude. He has all the momentum in the world, 3 wins in a row, all by finish. No decision wins on his record. I'm excited. 34 years old. It's his time to fucking shine. Let's see what he can do, man. Marcus McGhee. Let's see, man. I'm excited. I can't wait for this fight. I'm a fan of both. I've never picked against either one. Have I ever picked against Dragon? I don't think I have. I think I've always picked Martinez. Even when he fought Yanez, I picked him. Yeah, and only in his debut, and I didn't know who he was in that point, so we'll see. We'll fucking see. I can't wait for this fight. Let's fucking go. The betting odds for this fight have Marcus McGhee minus 120. I think he's like minus 170 now. 2 plus 100. I would have McGhee a tiny favorite, minus 120, 130. Sounds about right. He's riding all the momentum. If he can just stop the leg kicks, he can do some good work. I think he's a better striker. He has more power in his hands. We know Martinez's chin is very shaky. It's hard not to pick McGhee here. Ground game, I think McGhee is better. I'm excited for this fight, and it's hard not to pick Vanderlei Silva's son. I think he can do better work here. If he can just watch the leg kicks well enough, how do you not pick him? I like Martinez. Martinez is great. He's gonna give McGhee problems. Those leg kicks, he's gonna eat a few of them. But if he can just check Martinez's chin at some point in this fight, Martinez is gonna go down. So we'll see. How many times has Martinez been knocked out? I feel like it's been a few times. Only 1 KO loss. I swear he's been dropped a bunch. Interesting. Give me Marcus McGhee by... I'm torn between a decision and a knockout. I think even Aldo cracked Martinez pretty fucking badly at times. Give me Marcus McGhee by... Do I see this going? Do I think McGhee wins a decision? I don't know. And Martinez, I swear, is chinny. Let's see. Again, he's never won by decision. He has, 8 knockouts? What did I pick him to do against Gaston? Did I pick him to knock him out? I did. Fuck. Give me Marcus McGhee by knockout in a second. It's hard not to pick that. It's hard. It's either decision or a knockout, and I feel like he can find Johnson's chin, though. I think McGhee's gonna continue his streak and just keep looking great. Give me McGhee by knockout in the second. If Martinez fraud checks him, it sucks, but I'm happy for Martinez. If McGhee knocks him out, it sucks because I like Martinez, but it happens. Give me McGhee by knockout in a second. I think he can find that chin like David Grant did. We'll see if I'm right. I'm excited. I'm really fucking excited. McGhee knockout in a second to end the prelims with the best fight on it. Can't wait. So those were the prelims. Are they great? Not really. They got, I'd say, how many fights would I actually call good? Hardy's a decent fight. Diniz Tybura could be fun. Jim Miller's always great to see, and McGhee's amazing. Then you got Oban, Onama are both pretty mid, and then Weidman and Mickey Gall are trash. So I'd say some good fights, 2 bad fights, and it's a fine card. The last prelim's the best prelim, but I don't know. It could be decent. Again, just take away these 2 shit fights, and we're talking. But whatever. We still got some good fights around them, so take what you can get. Now we get to the main card. This might be the quickest main card I've ever done because I don't care. I think this main card's ass. So they want $80 for this. Fuck them. Let's get into the main card, and we'll begin in the 165-pound division because this is a short notice replacement. As in our main card opener, not going to waste a lot of time here because there's no need to. We begin the main card at 165 catch weight with Marcio, how do you say it? Marcio, one-shot Ruffy versus James Goku Llontop. Not gonna waste your fucking time. Ruffy by knockout in the first, lock of the night. This is a short notice fight for Llontop. That's why it's at 165. This was meant to be, who the fuck was Ruffy meant to fight? Charlie Campbell, which had been a really good fight. But yeah, Llontop's garbage. Ruffy is a great prospect, and yeah, the fighting nerds are gonna keep doing what they do best. Give me Ruffy by knockout in the first, lock of the night. Not much to say. Llontop, respect for stepping in. It was also the dumbest fucking decision of your life. Not much else to say. How is he not minus a fucking 2,000? How is he the 3rd biggest favorite on the card? That's fucking stupid. Second fight of the main card in the women's flyweight division, we have a ranked fight this time instead of 2 unranked fighters. As in our second fight of the main card, we have a fight that's on the main card for no reason, between Karine Killer Silva versus Viviane Araujo. Why is this on the main card? Like, it's not a whole WMA thing. This is not a main card fight thing. Karine Silva's good. Why is this on the fucking pay-per-view main card over McGhee when that fight's better? Like, we already know what's gonna happen in this fight. It's gonna go 15 minutes. Karine's gonna lay on her, and we're gonna fucking be bored. Whatever. I'll talk about Karine real quick. Karine is undefeated in the UFC at 4-0, coming out Contender Series. Her 4 wins are Poliana Botello, Ketlin Souza, Marina Morozov, and Ariane Lipski da Silva. Has not really beat anyone that good yet. That Ketlin Souza win's aging really well. Morozov's ass, Lipski's a bitch, and Botello, not really much to say there. But she's a fine fighter. She lost to Dione Barboza, which that's a weird loss. Silva's fine. Silva's fine. 30 years old, very experienced at this point. Okay striking, but her ground game's where it's at. Just had her first career win by decision, so she was a finisher, but she is getting her later round cardio down. And yeah, she's a really good grappler. Her striking's okay, really good submissions, really good finisher. Not really much more I can say. she's fine. She's a really good fighter in that young fighter in that division who going to do some work there. After this fight, after this win, she's probably going to get a pretty decent fight. So I feel bad for her though, because she's not even the best Silva in the top 15. So Natalia Silva. But we might see that fight sooner than later, and I'm very intrigued to see that fight. I would love to see that fight. So right now, Karine can get this quick W to get into the top 10, because I don't think she's there yet. So yeah, not really much else to say about Karine. She's pretty good. To talk about Vivi, Vivi in the UFC is 6-5. Her 6 wins are Talia Bernardo, Alexis Davis, Montana De La Rosa, Roxanne Modafferi, Andrea Lee, and Jennifer Maia. Her losses are Jessica I, Caitlin Samanara, Alexa Grasso, Amanda Hebas, and Natalia Silva. So that's actually pretty funny. She's really fucking old. She's now 37 years old. She's gonna be 38 in about a week. She's fine. Her striking's okay. Her ground game's not. Her cardio's not. She's never been finished in the UFC. Only one time being finished in general. She's fine. She's pretty mid. She's a good. Like, she can beat bad fighters like Lee and Maya, but she's never gonna beat someone decent, even like a Ket. Even though she did beat Samanara, but that's bullshit. Got completely fucking robbed, but whatever. She's not the greatest, she's not the worst. She's mid, she's a good test for whoever she fights, and that's about it. Not really much more to say there. The Bangouts for this fight have Karine Silva minus 295 to plus 225. She should win pretty easily. Just lay on Araujo for 15 minutes. Probably what's gonna happen. The betting odds sound about right. Karine around minus 300. You could even go up to 400 if you wanted. Not really sure how she would even lose this fight. Unless Araujo just stuffs takedowns for 15 minutes and beats her up on the feet, which is not going to happen. Karine by decision just sounds right. She's just going to lay on Araujo for 15 minutes. I just really don't see anything else happening besides that. So, yeah. Maybe she locks in a submission, but I doubt it. Karine Silva by decision. Not much more to it. After that, we head to our third fight of the main card, and goddamn, can we stop getting Bo Nickal on a fucking main card already until he actually deserves it. As in our third fight of the main card in the middleweight division, we have Bo Nickal versus Paul Berju Craig. Again, can we stop getting Bo Nickal on fucking main cards? Like, this is a decent fight for him, but this should not be on the fucking main card of a pay-per-view. Bo Nickal by decision. Paul Craig's terrible. Like, the only way this fight's any bit interesting if they strike for 15 minutes, which they both suck at striking, so that'd be funny. But outside that, like, what, Bo's gonna lay on him? Bo's gonna look like shit and either get a submission or a decision. Like, I like Bo. I think the dude's a future top contender, if not a champion. The dude looked awful outside the Val Woodburn fight. Looked terrible against Jamie Pickett. Looked god awful against Cody Brundage. Now you're getting a Paul Craig who's a guy who's ass. And wanna know what's funny? This is a fight Paul Craig wins. Like, I thought a couple people say that. I'd laugh my ass off if Paul wins, because the UFC would fucking kill themselves. Paul could lock up a submission. I wouldn't be that shocked, but more than likely Bo just lays on him for 15 minutes and that'll be that. Or he gets a submission in the third after looking like shit. So, give me Bo Nickal by decision. I think this fight's gonna be lame, and yeah. Unless they strike for 15 minutes, which again, that'd be funny at least. Bo will somehow find a way to knock him out if that happens, because Paul Craig gets knocked out by fucking everyone. Dude can't strike and has no chin. But more than likely, Bo Nickal by decision. Sounds about right. Gonna be boring. Not gonna be impressive. And that is that. Not much else to say. Bo Nickal by decision. Pretty simple. Do you care about the betting odds? No, you already know them. Next. After that, we get to our co-main event of the evening. A pointless rematch. We saw a better version of it 3 years ago. This should be Dan Hooker, but, you know, give us a fight we actually want now. Give us a rematch we didn't ask for Fuck you. As in our co-main event of the evening, for 5 rounds, we have in the lightweight division a rematch between Charles the Bronx Oliveira versus Iron Michael Chandler. Ooh, didn't I see this fight 3 years ago? Oh yeah, I fucking did. When they were younger and better. Now they're old and washed. So, again, why is this not Charles and Dan Hooker? The fight people want to see? Oh, because fuck you. Yeah, what do you want me to say? I watched the real version of this fight 3 years ago when they were younger and better and fighting for a title. Now, what the fuck are they fighting for? Who fights Max Holloway for the BMF? That he doesn't even have anymore? I like Charles. We all love Charles. First ballot Hall of Famer, yada yada yada. He did not look that good against fucking Arman. Like, I don't know how people say he won that fight. He did not look good. Yeah, he locked up a few submissions. He didn't get them. He lay on his back for 15 minutes more than anything. Then Chandler, we saw fucking died. He's been gone for two fucking years waiting for Conor, which is fucking stupid. So who knows how he's gonna look at 38 years old, coming off a 2-year layoff. I don't even know who wins this fight, because we don't know what the fuck Chandler's gonna look like in the cage. Charles did not look good against Arman, and he looked good against Beneil, but Beneil's a fucking trash can, so I don't know what to say. Why is this not Charles and Dan Hooker? A fight we want to see, again. Fuck, Charles and Fiziev, Chandler and Fiziev. Fucking, you could have done so many other things in this rematch. Again, I saw the real version 3 fucking years ago when I picked Charles to win. Like, this fight's not gonna be that as good as that one. I can guarantee you. They're older, they're not as durable, they're not as good. It's fucking pointless. Give me Charles. I think he should win. In a 5-round fight, this is not gonna go 5 rounds. If it was 3 rounds, I'd pick Charles by decision. But in a 5-rounder, I don't know if this is gonna go 15. It's gonna go 25 minutes. Why is it 5 rounds? Fuck if I know. Give me Charles Oliveira. I just don't see this going 25. I'm feeling submission in the 3rd. Like, I think round 1's gonna be dangerous for him. He might get dropped. But round 2, I think Chandler will start to slow down, and then round 3 or 4, Charles will get on his back or something and sub him. So, give me Charles Oliveira by submission in the, I feel 3rd. I just kind of see I don't see this fight going into round 4. I don't see it going 25 minutes, and it going into round 4 just seems a little crazy. So, give me Charles by submission in the 3rd. I think he should be able, if he can survive round 1, he should win. Because round 2, he'll start taking over, and round 3, he should get to finish. So, I'm going to probably go Charles by submission in the 3rd. Again, 4th round is possible. Even 2nd round is possible. It's going to be one of those middle rounds, I feel like he gets a finish. I don't think it's going to be a knockout again. Chandler learned. So, I'm going to go Charles by submission in the 3rd. Maybe I change to 4th round. I doubt it, but we'll see. More likely, Charles by submission in the 3rd is going to be my pick. Still don't get the point of this fight. Still don't really care for it. I thought I saw a better version 3 years ago. I don't know what else you want me to say. I'm not gonna fucking hype this up. Main event, Jones-Stipe. Jones is gonna win by whatever he wants. Who gives a fuck? He's ducking Aspinall like a bitch. Stipe, you ducked him too, so fuck you both. I'm gonna put my pick into Stipe because Ohio and fuck John Jones, but let's be honest, Jones wins by whatever the fuck he wants. So I'm gonna go pick Stipe, but I know I'm gonna be wrong. Do I care? No, fuck this fight. They're both old, ducking bitches. Boom. That's the card to go over my picks one more time. Not over how I did on picks. I don't know that yet. Veronica Hardy by decision. Oban Elliott by decision. Ramiz Brahimaj by decision. Jhonata Diniz by knockout in the 1st. David Onama by knockout in the 1st. Jim Miller by decision. Eryk Anders by decision. McGhee by knockout in the 2nd. Ruffy, my lock of the night by knockout in the 1st. Karine Silva by decision. Nickal by decision. Charles Oliveira by submission in the 3rd. And Stipe by, I'll put in that decision. Fuck that main event. the worst pay-per-view main event of the year. Ursig Pantoja was more logical. But yeah, boom. Yeah, the card's not great. It's pretty much carried by the prelims, because what is there to look forward to on the main card? A quick finish that shouldn't even be on the main card. Boring. 3 years, 3 years ago. Garbage. So, at least Marcus McGhee and Joseph Martinez is great. Outside of that, like, what the fuck? Like, there's not much to be hyped for. Mickey fucking Gall. Chris Weidman. In 2024. Jim Miller is still fighting. Move on from these old dudes already. It's getting fucking sickening. You have young dudes. You know the best fight on the card is 2 younger dudes. Crazy, I fucking know. It's fucking stupid. It's fucking stupid. I don't know what else you want me to say. I'm not hyping up this card. I'm not looking forward to this card at all. I'm looking forward to, we'll say, fucking 3-4 fights at most, and really it's just a Marcus McGhee fight. I don't care. I don't care about this fight. I don't care about this card. This fight. I don't care about this card. It's shit. It's a disgrace to MSG. It's the worst MSG card I've ever fucking seen. Show me a worse one. I guarantee you it's better. So, and all you had to do, all you fucking had to do, even the bare minimum how you make this card better. Tom Aspinall, Dan Hooker. The card's already better. You only need, if you just put those 2 fights on top of this, fine. You don't need to change anything around. Tom Aspinall, Dan Hooker, the card's better. But you pick a fight that we saw 3 years ago and a fight no one on earth cares about. Great job. This week is fucking terrible for combat sports. You got this garbage, you got the Mike Tyson bullshit. Fuck combat sports this week. It's just fucking gross. Gross, pathetic garbage, man. Like, these are the weeks that just make me fucking ashamed. Like, that I waste my time on this. The Apex card was better last week. I don't know. I'm fucking speechless after a while. Hopefully I actually have something to say on Sunday. I'm not speechless. On Sunday when I have to do my recap. Depending on how this card goes, it might be Sunday, it might be Monday. We'll see. Ideally, Sunday. But if I can't do it, if I don't do it then, or I can't do it, more likely if I don't do it because fuck this card, then yeah, Monday afternoon or morning. I mean, at 10 a.m. So if you don't see a recap on Sunday, just be ready for it on Monday at 10 a.m. So yeah, about really all I can say. I can't. I'm gonna lose my voice if I keep going any longer, so fuck this card. I'm hyped for McGhee and Martinez, and that's about it. Besides that, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the video more than you'll enjoy this card. Then if you don't, then damn, my content ain't that bad, right? Please like, comment, subscribe. 100 subs goal by the end of 2024. And unless I'm forgetting to say something, fuck this card. Fuck these 2. And as always, unless I'm forgetting something, which I don't think I am. Yeah, I think I said everything. As always, RX out. Good vibes only, and hopefully always.